Hey everyone, just Glock on here. Just wanted to make a quick video on how to stall abilities because this is a question that comes up often from people who just don't know how to do it, and it's really hard to explain over text, so I'm trying to do a video on it. The two applications, or the two reasons why you would want to stall an ability in the first place, is either to manipulate a ability cooldown or to stack burst damage, and I'll talk about some examples of those applications at the end of the video. Essentially, the way to stall an ability is to go out of range of your target and then to run back into range. When you're out of range and you use an ability, the ability will still go off, and when you go back into range, it'll come out. So, for example, I'm going to stall Corrupt. I'm going to run to close to max cast distance. I'm going to run out of cast distance. I'm going to use Corrupt. I'm going to click out, like force myself out. So I haven't done any damage, but when I run back into cast distance, the ability comes right out. Now, obviously, in most PVM, this isn't exactly practical. So the one thing that you can do is use your enhanced Excalibur as your offhand to stall the ability. When you equip Excalibur and try to use an ability, I'm going to equip Excalibur and use D-Breath. It runs me back into melee distance because I have a melee weapon equipped. That means that I can stand here, which is normally within cast distance, but if I equip Excalibur and use an ability, it will stall it. Now, when you switch weapons or do something like that, in order to get the stall ability to come out, you can't just click the training dummy again. What you have to do is use your Vuln keybind or cast another spell in order to have the ability come out. So let me show you right now. I'm going to do D-Breath, and then I'm going to stall my Corrupt and have that come out with a Tuska. D-Breath, Excal, stall Corrupt, and then I use Corrupt and Tuska at the same time. Some people struggle with getting the ability to come out, and also struggle with losing some ticks. Usually this happens because they can't vuln and use an ability in the same tick anyways. So the only thing you need to do is just go to dummies for a little bit and then just practice doing it on tick like that. If you can't do that normally with vuln, then you can't do a stalled ability without losing any ticks. Gonna run over and grab a scythe. You can also stall with other styles like melee, and in order to do that, you just have to use the Vuln keybind as well, even though you're in melee. And you also need the runes for Vuln. So here, I'm going to stall a Sever, and then I'm going to use it with the Cleave. So the only thing you need to do is run out of distance of Scythe. So I'm going to run out, and use Sever, and then I'm going to run back into distance, and then use Vuln Cleave. And you can see that two abilities come out. Now, I talked at the beginning of the video about two applications. These applications are manipulating auto cooldowns and as well as stacking burst damage. So here's an old point of view from a AOD kill. Let's say you were to use wild magic, it's kind of hard to see because I have low resolution, but essentially my sun is on cooldown for up for 22 more seconds, and wild magic's cooldown is 20 seconds. If I used wild magic after Nex was attackable, Nex is currently phased, I wouldn't be able to use two wild magics in my sunshine. So what I'm gonna do, I think I screwed up here actually, is I equip my Excalibur. If you look, I kind of screwed up. Okay, so see, I equip my Excalibur right here, and I use Wild Magic with 21 seconds on my Sunshine, which means it's going to come off cooldown with 1 second on my Sunshine, and I can use two Wild Magics in my Sunshine. So I stall the ability, kind of run back in, kind of screw it up, and then I re-equip my Orb, and I do Vuln Wild Magic, and Vuln D-Breath, and Wild Magic comes out instead of the Vuln. And then if we skip to 20 seconds ahead, you would see me use Wild Magic again in Sun. So that's what I mean by manipulating ability cooldowns. The other biggest application is in burst damage. You see this a lot with especially God Wars Dungeon 1 records, or anywhere where it's a very, very short record. This is 4-man KK, and what they're going to do is they have a dummy up. They're going to stall Hurricane out of melee distance, and then they're going to switch weapons and Sigil and then use Assault. And so see, they have all the Hurricane hits and also the Assault with Mutated Barge. So those are the two applications of stalling abilities, and those are the That's how to do it, as I demonstrated earlier. If you have any questions, I'll leave some information in the description where you can find me or other people on Discord. Thanks a lot. Bye.